He is the former chief of Cadmus First Nation and worked with the federal government on truth and reconciliation efforts, and soon will be the Chancellor of the University of Regina. He's with us this morning. Tansei Iwak, we say hello this morning to Cadmus Delorme. Cadmus, thanks for doing this.
Tansei, good morning.
It's good to have you along. First, your reaction to getting this big appointment.
It's an honor. I'm a proud First Nations University of Canada and the University of Regina alumni. I have been on the board for 5 years. I've been the board chair of the University of Regina for 3. So to transition to Chancellor is a very big honor.
What does it mean? What do you actually do as Chancellor of the university?
Yeah, just to simplify, what is a Chancellor? A Chancellor chairs the Senate. The Chancellor is very ceremonial. And we lead the graduations, both in the fall and the spring. Chairing the Senate, you have an academic opportunity to shift and to talk. Oh, you got to see my 4 and 6-year-old are popping in to say good morning. And so the Chancellor's role is to chair the Senate, and the Senate is the one that looks after the academia, from the certificates, undergraduate, masters, PhDs, and so forth like that.
Okay, you got to give us their names. If they're going to pop up on screen, we got to have their names.
Yeah, you got Xavier and Kingsley here.
All right, well,
pre-K and grade 1.
Well, good morning to them, and let's get them off to school fairly quickly. But in the meantime, I love that so much. They put on shirts, which is important. Why is this such a big deal to you? Why is it so important to you to be Chancellor?
Education got me to where I am today. And, you know, and being an Indigenous person, the late Murray Sinclair said, education got us into this mess, and education is going to get us out of this mess. And that is with regard to the truth and reconciliation. But just being a Saskatchewanian and a Canadian, education is our driver of hope. And universities play a huge role. Today, you know, we have to pivot how our education is delivered. AI makes a difference today. International students are continuing, and we have to make sure that we respect and honor the best we can. Reconciliation is something normal, and employers are looking for these kind of skills. And so as we are supporting and advancing students to get into our economy, to get into social, to get into all these health and areas and et cetera, being the Chancellor, now I get the opportunity to sit at the tone at the top. I am not a boss, and I am chairing the Senate. So we get a chance to shift the paradigm of how education is delivered.
Is the university doing a good enough job? They do a great job, I think, already, but are they doing a good enough job in your eyes in the truth and reconciliation wave?
You know, truth and reconciliation in this country is 10 years old today. You know, as a society, we are just now starting to truly understand that we're on this marathon. No one's in the grandstands. And so universities have been taking the lead, institutions, in making sure that Indigenous studies, that in our case, the First Nations University of Canada, every student has an opportunity to take a class there. So to answer your question, are we doing good? We could do better. But, you know, are we shifting? Yes, we are as an institution.
Your message to viewers out there, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, as a former chief of a First Nation here in Saskatchewan, we are coming up on Indigenous Peoples Day, your message to people out there watching at home.
It's one day at a time. Reconciliation is normal. The kids and grandkids in our schools are learning it on a daily. As adults, our brains were not wired to understand what truth and reconciliation is. That's just what we inherited as a country. Aboriginal or Indigenous Peoples Day is a chance to know that you have Indigenous communities, culture, people in your backyard. Go out and learn, celebrate, show your allyship, and understand that in order for us to get to the end goal in this country, reconciliation has to be a part of it. And June 21st is a day for us to just make sure that we validate that together.
Cadmus, thank you, and good luck with the appointment.
Thank you very much.